Batman the Knight issue 1, which is a beginning of a 10 issue miniseries or maxi series, I think they call it. Like if it goes beyond 6 issues, it's a maxi series. Written by Chip Zdarsky, of course, it's DC Comics. And I found this story coming out, this issue, this event, this miniseries, maxi series, whatever you want to call it, coming out yesterday because I was like, you know what, it's been a while since I read a comic, and it's also been a while since I covered a comic. So why see what's coming out this week? And I saw the list, and I'm like, DC. I was like, Batman the Knight. I'm like, well, we all know how much of a mega fan of Batman I am. So I'll see what this story's about. And what it was, when I saw the description, I kind of rolled my eyes about it because I was like, really? We're going through the origin story? Like, do we really need to go through the origin story again? We get it. Oh my god, mommy and daddy got shot right in front of me by Joe Chill, and now they're down on the floor, and because of it, I'm going to become vengeance. Like, I mean, we all know the origin story. Their parents become Batman. Like, we all know it. I was like, geez, like, do we really need to go through this again? But then I read the actual issue, and I'm like, I get it. I get what you're doing here. This is about, it's not about it's not another story of how Bruce became Batman. It's a story about how did Bruce become Bruce. It reminded me of that miniseries that came out like 5-6 years ago called Superman Omega Alien, where it was about how did Clark Kent became Clark Kent. How did the boy from Smallville became Clark Kent the reporter. How did the boy become a man? And it's kind of exploring those same themes in a different way because it is Batman and it gets a little bit grittier and violent, and you know, Bruce is going to have a life of full of anger and hatred and all those things. So it's a different character, but it's kind of in those same themes of how did the boy become a man kind of type of story. And reading this first issue, I dug it up. I absolutely dug it up. Because what you have here is a story about, at least this first chapter, it's a story about Bruce's actions affecting other people and how they respond to it. Sometimes it's small or sometimes it's large. Because we meet Bruce and he's about, I don't know, 16, 17, 18. And he's no longer the kid with sadness. His grief is anger. He just wanted to lash out at things. He's taking the gym and take boxing classes. He's doing this because of that. He's just full anger. Like there's a scene where he is, like there's a character who gets bullied, and he just goes attacks the bullies. He goes full on Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns Batman on these kids, and you're like, geez, Bruce, like, hold on, wait till you're like in your mid-20s, god damn, or you at least wait till you're 30, when you're weighing the point is, can you wait, dude? Like, you know, and it's just seeing the effects of him, the effects of him lashing out, and the biggest effect, of course, is Alfred. You know, we all know Alfred. You know, we all know Alfred as the butler. We all know Alfred as the mentor, the friend, that whole thing. But this, we see Alfred as the parent. And he's also being a parent who's trying to honor the legacy of Thomas and Martha Wayne, who were the only, what it seems like, you know, anytime they get talked about, the only light of Gotham. You know, and Alfred's like, Bruce, I'm sick of your, you know, driving you early, driving to your store early, and it's because you have a complication and the fights and your hands are all fucked. Why? Why? I don't know. But for the love of God, stop it. So you can improve yourself, but also that you can don't shit on the legacy that your parents had. Read these books. Learn those solutions, because he showed them to the library. He's like, here's these books, start reading. That's your punishment. Read these books and you'll find solutions to those situations. So go ahead. And you're just like, wow, It's kind of cool seeing Alfred just being the parent. It's kind of neat, kind of cool. And then there's a scene where, context-wise, Bruce is he's being arrested for fighting in a underground fight club, and Alfred naturally bails him out. And there's a point when they're in the car, probably driving to Wayne Manor, and he's like, he's doubting himself. Alfred's doubting himself because of Bruce's actions. He's thinking, I failed. I failed to raise this kid, especially as a reasonable, suitable adult. Because right now, this kid is being a small little brat. And those are the quotes. You know, and he lectures, rightly so, lectures Bruce of why you're doing this. And the reason he's doing it is just because he wants to actually have real boxing lessons. He felt like the ones from high school was kind of holding him back and putting in kid gloves. So get a professional boxer. Anyway. And the second thing was, Alfred was saying, like, look, the reason these people are doing it is because there's no other choice. There's, they're, trying to feed their families, medical bills, just able to have a roof over their heads. All these things. While you have everything, don't rob them from the cash that they would make and their awards, because you have billions and billions and billions and zillions and quadrillions of dollars. Don't waste on that. And it kind of shows the theme of it, of Bruce actions. Like, sure, there's moments where Bruce acts very his future self, where there's a scene where a certain character that we know, and he's just going full on detective mode. He's going full on analyze, like, well, this, and you're basically doing X, Y, and Z, and I saw that, but he's going full Sherlock Holmes on them. And I was like, okay, yep, yeah, little hints and winks a bit like, to make us believe that this kid's going to become, is going to become Batman at probably till the very end. And I just really liked it. I really liked the emotion. I really liked the Alfred scenes. The relationship between him and his girlfriend, I mean, I'm wondering if that's going to be a common thing. I doubt. But, I mean, here's the thing. Knowing that the training side of the Batman origin is something that hasn't really been explored. Like, everybody says, what's the best Batman origin story? Everybody throws Batman Begins, but that's a movie. But in the comics, it's kind of just being dead parents, I Am Vengeance. Like, it's basically just dead parents, Batman. Like, there's no in between, and it's trying to fill those moments. So naturally, it'll be interesting when will certain moments, like him getting trained and his training and his ability and the evincing of him training all the time and building up to the thing that he's going to become. But I liked it. I will recommend it. I'm happy to cover it if people want me to keep on talking about this issue, about this series, till October, unless it gets delayed. So yeah,